Okay, we talked a little bit about it earlier. So know your enemy. And here's another corking proverb. Know your enemy and know yourself. You needn't for the result of 100 breaths. You can't have a presentation without a bit of the art of war in it. So this is absolutely true. So it's like, if you know who you're fighting against, right? Which people would just go, but we're an aged care provider, we don't have any enemies. If you don't, that's a problem. So every brand should have an enemy, right? So, because every problem has a cause, and only identifying yours can you be the solution to it. So you go Apple, do you know what I mean? Before Apple was along, computers were just pretty, early Apples were shocking as well. But their enemy's frustration. Yes, Starbucks sell coffee, but they sell quick coffee, and it's about hectic life. FedEx is the idea of not having to wait around for stuff. So you got to be divisive about this as well. Is you can't. A lot of brands make the mistake, or a lot of companies make the mistake, especially in aged care, of kind of going, oh, we're really nice, and we don't want to, we don't want to have, we don't want to really, be too divisive about this. So we're not going to really have too much of an enemy. You've got to have an enemy, and you've also got to remember that is going to put some people off. Some people are going to go, well, actually, no, I like that, right? But do you know what? They're not your customers. They're not your clients. They're not your staff, right? So if you think about the more polarizing something is, the more emotionally people think about it. Think about politicians and, say, musicians. Do you know what I mean? It's like people literally either loathe the politician or love them. And it's like, yeah, do you know what? They all get votes. There's plenty to go around, because what they actually do really well is they talk about, what they believe in. Same with musicians. And so people kind of go, well, I love those guys, or I don't like those guys. And if you can kind of get that feeling into your brand, then people will love you for it. Some will hate you as well, but there's plenty to go around. So look, what are some of those examples in aged care? There is an infinite amount in aged care. There's a lot to have as your enemies. Loss of independence. Guilt's a really big one. Guilt is, it's someone's got to put their mum or their dad in a retirement because they can't look after them anymore. They can't have them at home. That's a huge thing. That's guilt. So, do you know what I mean? If you were a brand, you could literally be going, well, we're going to take the guilt out of that and make sure that that's your enemy's guilt. It can be big, it can be small, it can be another company if you like. But I always kind of go, if you make it another company and they kind of go out of business, you lose your enemy. So it's much better to do it around a state or a thought, and kind of what's the enemy of your company? Is it loneliness? Losing sense of purpose. And there's and again, this isn't about picking one and making it up. You're already doing it, so it's really defining it. It's literally pulling it out and go, this is their enemy. This is who we're up against.